From being considered the next Magic Johnson to being seen as Walmart Draymond Green.
Compared to Draymond.
He has drawn that comparison a lot.
I say it's fair in some ways to compare it to him.
From someone who was considered to be the face of a franchise to not even being able to shoot. From becoming an all-star to nobody talking about him, Scottie Barnes' journey has been a story on its own. In July of 2024, he signed a 5-year contract extension with the Raptors that made him the highest paid player in the franchise's history. Toronto thought they had their own superstar, but the 2025 season left more questions than answers around him. What the hell happened to Scottie Barnes? When you watch Scottie at his best, you really do see the Magic Johnson similarities. Both tall point guards with amazing vision and passing. Both have the height, the rebounding, the ability to make everyone around them better on the court. Now, of course, following the footsteps of Magic Johnson is a difficult task. I mean, how can anybody get as many girls in bed as he did? He also won 3 MVPs, 3 Finals MVPs, and made the All-Star team 12 times. But while Scottie has to do a lot to even come close to those accolades, on the court, we are already seeing flashes of magic. We have seen him grab a rebound and go coast to coast, either scoring it himself or creating for someone else on the team. In fact, the similarities are so visible that Magic himself said that he sees a lot of his own game in the Raptors star. But we didn't see this version of Scottie in the 2025 season. Or maybe we did, but now the expectations are higher for him. When he signed that extension, it showed that the Raptors had incredible belief in him. A belief that he wouldn't just be a good player, but that he could literally become a superstar. Because now, he's making superstar money. Masai and the Raptors were not the only people that believed in him. He had gotten a lot of praise from other people around the league. In 2023, Draymond Green complimented him with the highest form of compliment he could give. He said that Scottie Barnes reminded him of himself.
And I think Scottie will do way more than I ever did in my career.
Hopefully Scottie doesn't end up punching his own teammates. Green had said that he saw a tweet that said that Scottie Barnes' floor is Draymond Green, and he felt that's a high floor. He even called Scottie a special talent.
He'll take that to a whole nother level.
At that time, Scottie had just played his 12th NBA game. Since then, he has played significantly more, but the comparisons with Magic and Green haven't aged the best. Sure, he still has all the qualities that we talked about. The passing, the rebounding, it's all there. In fact, he's even transformed into a fantastic defender. And he still does make others better. But now, he's also shooting like Draymond Green. And no, not the best version of Green. He's shooting like a version of him that never played with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You see, you can afford to play like Green when you have other Hall of Famers around you. Other players that can shoot and create on their own. Barnes didn't have that in the 2025 season. Since he didn't have help, he was asked to do a lot on offense, which put a lot of pressure on his shoulders. With the Raptors rebuilding and reshuffling, Scottie was asked to be the main guy on offense. And while he gave it everything, defending, rebounding, making plays, he struggled to carry the scoring load all by himself. His efficiency dropped, his shooting took a massive hit, and at times, it just looked like he was trying to do too much. It was Scottie's team, but with him, the offense ranked 26th in the league for efficiency. And a big part of that was how bad his shooting was. He shot a career worst 26.3% from 3. Now, we always knew he wasn't a lights out shooter, especially not off the dribble. And when you add in the fact that he was playing on a tanking team, it's not all that surprising to see a low number here. But the bigger problem isn't just that he was shooting poorly from beyond the arc. It's the drop off in his shooting between the 3-point line and 10 feet away from the basket. In this area, which is in the paint but outside of the restricted area, he went from shooting 50% to 41.7%. Now, this is a worrying sign because that area is kind of his specialty, taking advantage of mismatches, little hook shots, floaters. This is where he used to do the bulk of his damage. Now again, the lack of spacing around him doesn't help. It's tough to be dangerous in that area when teams don't have to worry about your teammates shooting. Teams could literally double Scottie or pack the paint because they knew that if he kicks it out, it's very unlikely that the shooter is gonna make his 3. On top of this, a hand injury also sidelined him for a few games, but the drop-off was still there even before the injury. Scottie got injured in March, and before then he was shooting 52.3% from the field, 26.9% from 3, and 77.3% from the free throw line. Since March 1st, his numbers got worse. He shot 46.7% from the field, 23.4% from 3, and 74.4% from the free throw line. Now again, as I stated this earlier, the roster construction doesn't help him. He's basically forced to take tough shots because he can't go to the rim consistently. I mean, look at one of his teammates, Jakob Poeltl. I love Poeltl, but he's no Miles Turner. He's not going to help you stretch the floor. He can't go too far away from the paint, so that limits the space that Scottie can attack even more. The Raptors scored 11.4 points per 100 possessions when these two shared the floor together, which isn't very good. Now the plus side is that the team is great defensively when the two are together, but of course that's the trade-off. Two very good defenders, but both of them clog up the paint. So unless Poeltl develops a consistent three-pointer overnight, Barnes is forced to have to expand his game. Now this isn't to say that Scottie isn't a player that you can build around. His game is just unique, so it will require a very strategic roster construction. And the Raptors front office have known this for a while, ever since he was drafted. From his college days, it was obvious that Scottie was a pass-first type player. As a freshman, he averaged 10.3 points, 4.1 assists, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 steals per game, earning the ACC Freshman of the Year award, ACC Sixth Man of the Year, and third-team All-ACC honors. He had great vision and was always able to find his teammates. His height, combined with his basketball IQ and versatility, made him the perfect prototype for what the Toronto Raptors were looking for. He was the exact kind of player that Masai goes for, a player who can switch on defense, but also has the ability to do a little bit of everything on offense. His unique playstyle was met with some doubt even before he was drafted. Remember, everyone thought that Toronto were going to select Jalen Suggs, but from the beginning, Scottie Barnes showed why the Raptors believed in him. On October 22nd, in just his second NBA game, he dropped 25 points and grabbed 13 rebounds against the Boston Celtics. It wasn't just a good performance, it was a statement. Under the bright lights against the best team in the East, Scottie looked like a seasoned pro.
He's got 11 and no look to Boucher. How about that?
Not a rookie, and he kept getting better. Against the Wizards, he scored 27 points and got 8 rebounds. Even when he didn't get a lot of assists, you could see his passing skill. He would grab a rebound, push the ball up the court, and get the Raptors running in transition. By March, the entire league had taken notice. He was named the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month for February, and a few days later, he went off for 31 points and 17 rebounds in an overtime battle with the Lakers. By the end of the season, Scottie had averaged 15.3 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. He was the only rookie who ranked top 5 in total points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. And most importantly, he had helped the Raptors to the 5th seed in the East, a direct ticket to the playoffs. Scottie did it all. He played point guard, he played center, just like Magic Johnson once did. In 21 games, he had at least 5 assists, showing off his skills as a playmaker. And here's a fun fact. Scottie became just the 19th rookie in NBA history to average over 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. You know who else was on that list? Magic Johnson. And the reason that Scottie was so good in that season is because he was on an actual winning team. The Raptors were not tanking in that period. They had OG, they had Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet. So in a better team with better players around him, Scottie's game goes to another level. The season after his rookie winning year, Scottie showed even more of what he could do. On November 4th, 2022, he recorded his first career triple-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists in a tough loss to the Mavericks. A few weeks later, he dropped a then career high 32 points against the Lakers.
Davis getting back and Scottie.
Not only were the numbers growing, but so was his confidence. By the 2024 season, Scottie had risen to an all-star level. Yes, he came in as an injury replacement, but no one questioned if he deserved it. He had been playing like an all-star. He was averaging 19.9 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. And he was doing it on a Raptors team that had traded away OG and Pascal Siakam. They were in a rebuilding phase. Back in his rookie year, Scottie had veterans around him. And when the team is trying to win, that makes things a lot easier for Scottie. By the 2024 season, though, he was the leader, and that came with added pressure. As I told you guys earlier, it's very hard to be a great passer when your teammates aren't ready to compete. Now, Scottie, of course, he didn't complain. He just kept working on his game. And to be honest, in 2024, many aspects of his game improved. His pick and roll play improved. His passing and transition nearly became perfect. He started driving to the rim more often and with better control. In 2024, his three-point shot was actually beginning to show progress. And because defenders had to respect the shot, his passing became even more dangerous. He also got better as a ball handler, and he had to because he was becoming the Raptors' main playmaker. And just like Magic Johnson, Johnson, you could see that Scottie had that flair in his game. He would throw no-look passes. He found gaps in the defense that no one else saw. And just like Magic, Scottie was being a smart cutter, sneaking behind defenses, using his size and strength to get easy buckets at the rim. Finding mismatches for Scottie is one of the most efficient ways that the Raptors used to score. And both did this because they weren't known as great shooters, but both had to figure out how to bend defenses anyways. When Scottie cuts, defenders panic, and that opens space for his teammates to score. In 2024, his finishing through traffic was also getting better, and he was beginning to find his mismatches even more. Because remember, this is a 6'9" guy that at times is playing at point guard, so the likelihood of him matching up against a smaller player is very high. And when he gets that mismatch, he can post them up, he can pass over them, or go right through them. And of course, his defense had always been strong. His length, size, and athleticism allows him to guard multiple positions. He can guard 1 through 5 easy. He can go out onto the perimeter, but also protect the rim. Having a point guard who can do all of that, it's very rare. So yes, Scottie Barnes isn't Magic Johnson. Not yet, maybe not ever, but his potential, it's massive. And even in a bleak 2025 season, there were a lot of positives to take away from Scottie's game. For example, while his 3-point shooting was down, his mid-range was still at a solid 47.5%. If he can keep the same percentage while increasing his volume, he can become even more impactful in scoring. And if he can score more, his playmaking will only get better as he will attract more attention from the defense. It's a lot easier to make a team collapse defensively when they see you as an actual threat offensively. And that's why it's so important for him to really develop his perimeter game more. Yes, going forward, you don't want him hanging around the perimeter all the time, but he needs to be able to do damage there. Even Draymond Green at his best could shoot. Just go look at his Game 7 performance in the 2016 final, or basically any match where he's being guarded by Rudy Gobert. If Scottie can figure out his offensive game, it's over for the rest of the league, because on the other side of the court, he already looks like a future defensive player of the year. In 2025, his defensive leap was fantastic. The Raptors outscored their opponents whenever Scottie was on the floor, and it shouldn't come as a surprise considering he's a smart, big guy that can guard anybody. Night after night, he took on tough matchups and didn't back down. Guards, wings, bigs, it didn't matter. He could guard them all. And what made him special wasn't just his physical gifts, it was how smart he played. He read plays before they happened. He jumped passing lanes. He blocked shots. He made it very hard for anybody to get comfortable. According to the advanced stats, he had one of the best defensive impacts in the entire league. But anyone who watched the games didn't need the numbers. They saw it with their own eyes. Now going into the new season, there's a real chance that things could open up for Scottie. With Ingram joining, IQ staying healthy, and RJ Barrett taking another lead, the court will hopefully feel a little less crowded. That should give Scottie more space to do what he does best, get deep in the paint and create problems for defenders. Add in the growth of young players like Grady Dick and Jacoby Walter, and suddenly the Raptors look a lot more dangerous. Because if Scottie is like Draymond Green, he's going to need movement and better players around him. You can't shine as a passer if you're passing to G League guys every night. As his big rookie extension kicks in, it will be time for the Raptors to take a new look at who he is. Because Scottie isn't just potential anymore. He's also not a finished product either. He's chilling somewhere in between, kind of in limbo. This is a player who a few years ago was considered untouchable in trades for a big superstar, someone whose ceiling was unlimited. Now nobody is denying that he's a good player. The question becomes how good. At one point, Masai didn't want to trade him for KD, but now there are rumors about trading Scottie for Giannis. That's how big the spectrum is when you were discussing this guy. Some think that he's baby Giannis in the making. Others see him as a guy who at best can only be Draymond Green. His coach, Darko, still believes in him becoming a 3-level scorer eventually. Not just layups, not just threes, not just mid-ranges, but all of them together in one package. Someone that can take over games, like when he put up 35 points, 9 rebounds and 6 assists against the Pacers, or when he put up 35 points, 11 rebounds and 8 assists against the Spurs. It's a nice idea. It's what everyone around the organization hopes for. Nothing would make Raptors fans more happy than developing one of their own into a mega superstar. But there's also a growing pile of evidence that the jump that everyone is hoping for might not happen. Scottie Barnes might be one of those players where the idea of him is better than the reality. In my opinion, I still think it's way too early to say that, and you can't count anything out. Because every season, no matter what the numbers say, Scottie has found ways to keep growing. And now with a teammate like Brandon Ingram, his game can even get better. To see why Brandon Ingram is actually a terrific acquisition by the Raptors, you have to check out this video right here.